Organ Vintage Farmhouse Antiques. Now this is the brass coat rail that Kate bought at auction last week, and it's not in particularly great condition. As you can see, you can see the outline of where something's been attached on the outer side there and here. They've probably had some secondary little hooks on this, but it's a nice piece of hardwood, but it's, as you can see, over painted, and we've got these holes on it. So we could fill these with wood filler. We could try and sand this back and stain it up, but to tie in with the barn renovation that we're doing at the moment and where this is going to go, I think the easiest and probably the best solution for us is just to fill these holes with a filler, and then to give it a good sanding to get it nice and smooth, get some of this paint off, and then we're going to paint the wood board, which obviously then you don't appreciate it's hardwood, but it will look nice, and it gives us the opportunity. What I've done is unscrewed all of these brass horse heads. I've taken all the brass screws out, and behind each one of it you can see they've not been off in years. This is quite a nice little feature. The actual attachments where it's attached onto the wall are hidden behind one of the horses' heads. I don't think the people that took this off the wall realised that, and they'd broken all those old screws, unfortunately, but they're going to be hidden anyway. What we have appreciated now is that these horses' heads are proper cast brass things, decent bit of weight in them as well. I think they've been varnished, and the clue to varnishing is, if you show you this one, do you see there where it's chipped away the varnish, and underneath you've got that sort of uneven area? If you see that, you know that it's been varnished, and the reason they varnish brass is to stop it tarnishing and constantly having to be polished. I'm just going to give these a light clean up. I like the old vintage shabby chic appearance of this brass. I'm not looking at a highly polished antique finish to these. We're probably going to keep them very much as is, just clean them up a bit, get all the dirt off them, and then reapply them onto a fresh painted wooden blackboard. I think they're going to be quite good, but they are lovely things. Do appreciate the weight in them as well once you've got them off. So the next stage is to get this board completely stripped back, cleaned up, bit of sanding. I've obviously got to make a mental note of where the holes are I want to retain, but all these ones I'm going to sand down, and where it's got a little bit of damage and chip like that, and here we'll sand it back down, get it nice and smooth, get it primed up, filled and painted up, and then we'll see what it's looking like at that stage, and then Kate can decide what colour it's going to be eventually, which will make all the difference, I think, to the appearance. So stand by, I'll go and get the next stage in progress. Well, I've given this backboard now quite a light sanding down, just to remove any loose dirt, dust and splinters from it, and then filled. I've used a universal caulk really, or filler, that should be sandable once it's dry. It takes about 2 hours to dry off, and we've just gone over the board. There was a little bit more damage. When you start sanding these things back, you realise it's had a bit of a life with screws and bolts and things put through it at times. So we've just filled those areas because we're going to paint this. Just using a filling knife or blade, just to get a nice flat surface, or as flat as you can, but always leaving it a little bit proud. And then we're going to sand this back. It takes about 2 hours to dry, so later this afternoon we'll come back and give this a little sand down just to finish it off flat, and then it should be ready for priming. So get the first coat of paint on sometime this afternoon. Well, I've now completed the preparation of the backboard, piece of, I think it was probably oak, that we decided it was just a little bit too scruffy to restore back up. So we've decided to paint this. We primed it in a wood primer, gave it a good sand down. It's had a little bit of filler in it. What I've done is left all the holes where we've got the horses' heads attachments ready for the screws to go back in. It's painted in Castel pink, which is a little green colour, which is a colour we're using a lot in the barn on the woodwork. And this is going to go on a red brick wall, so we're hoping it's going to look very well in there. The brass work's all ready to go back on. You can just position these as they're going to sit. I'm not going to put the N2 on, because you can see drilled very cleverly behind where the horse's head sits are the attachment holes for it to go onto the wall. So I'm actually going to get this put on the wall before these last two go in, and they will cover up the attachment, so it's almost, you know, a hidden attached piece. I'm going to just align these to show you what it's going to look like, and then we will show you it when it's up on the wall later on today, because I'm going to try and get the builders while they're here to put this up. There's the finished effect. 4 horses' heads, nicely painted piece of backboard, which I think sat against a red brick wall. It's going to make a very attractive period and farm rustic coat hook as an entrance piece in the new barn. Thanks for watching.